Hello everyone and welcome to Scrap Saturdays. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a nice day today. I think it's a Saturday, so happy Saturday. Close to the middle of October maybe? Yeah. Here I have a photograph of our cousins in Portugal. And so the girl, her name is Anahita, and the boy's name is Adriano. And they're in love. Yeah, I love love. I love love. I love weddings, and I love to see young couples who are in love with each other because it's such a reminder of a time when you were so into that, right? When everything was so magical and you tried so hard to just impress, right? And so this layout's really fast. I think I have about 10 minutes to yap about love. So hopefully you're in the mood for love. But it was so easy because, again, as you can see, all of that background black and white paper that I'm using and maybe just some soft tones of taupey and pink are leftover pieces of paper from the envelopes that I created. And because I was doing this back to back, and that's how I scrapbook, right? Let's be honest. If I'm putting up 4 videos a week now, that means that on Saturdays, I get all my stuff done. So I get about 4 to 5 videos done every Saturday or layouts done. So it's a really nice pattern for me as well. I'm so in love with the way that my scrapbooking schedule has finally turned into a steady way of me not only sharing with you and hopefully inspiring you all, but for myself too, to get so much done, right? And so it's that back and forth between 2 kits and 2 different types of photos, which one is the past and, vacation, and then the other one is more current photos with, some oldies in the mix as well. I mean, there's no right or wrong, right? There is no right or wrong, guys, right? The only point of doing any of this is because, 1, we love the hobby, and number 2, it's so much fun to inspire, right? Show and tell in scrapbooking is such a powerful thing. It's not so much about the ego. It's just about saying, like, look what I did. And I know you've seen this pattern paper go around. I know there's thousands of people's interpretations of what they would do with this, right? And so it's so cool. I think that's my favorite part, is just to see what everyone else sees. I think it's just amazing. So yeah, these 2 are in love, right? And I come back to that all the time. Like I always tell my husband, I'm like, look at them. They're so cute. Remember when we were like that? When we tried so hard, when we purposely wanted to grab like every moment together and then every photo together possible. And I know that Anahita was so happy because she, really wanted these photos. They meant a lot to her because they were memories. There was, something so endearing about looking back and seeing photos of your 2 together when you're first in love, right? And I love to cultivate that for them as well because they live on such a small island, right? So the fact that they've found each other and that they can, forge together a beautiful future and take care of each other in the sense of and build some sort of goals and balance, I think is amazing. I really do. I think it shows, good courage and good character, and it's a part of life. It's what humans do. We want to be in love. We want to be romanticized. We want to find our Prince Charming, so to speak, with loose terms into what your Prince Charming might be. And so I think that when I saw this paper and I saw the stars and I just saw all that, it flowed for me. I really liked it. And I put in a lot of old stuff. Like there's a recollections tag at the top that you can see with the blues in it. That was just sitting on my desk. This paper bow I made, I think I'm going to take that base part off because it's throwing me off. It's too long and it interferes with too much, and then it's just perfect. I just love it. And again, that's part of what you saw in the video when I was doing all my cutting up and preparing of. So that's where the little bits and pieces are coming in now. And I just love it. The You and Me is an old embellishment that I had from, I believe, an old Felicity Jane kit that the first time I ever subscribed to them. And then just little bits and pieces from all over the place and some wood veneer. And I just love the way it turned out, right? It's very, very detailed. There's so much layering going on. There's so many bits and pieces of paper, but they're all in the same tones, right? They're all in the same family, so to speak. And so they don't really compete with each other. And I like it. And I loosely fan them out. They're not tightly fanned out. They're kind of like one's going up, one's going down, really, really uneven rectangles, I could say. So if you haven't tried that style, try it. Just use your scraps as long as they're within the same tones, and then layer it behind your photo, and then tuck in little bits and pieces. As you can see, I just cut that pink tag in half. And I will go back and stamp the date on that date part. I think I made another layout and there was a little place for a date, and I felt so bad afterwards because sometimes I can't get a good impression. If I layer so much, there isn't enough of a solid background, but for this one, I was able to do it. And again, that's another technique, right? Just going in and cutting up your little die cuts and your tags and using them to balance off the eye on both sides of your layout. So that is something that I do quite a bit, and I have always loved the way that it just, I'm trying to say the word love in every sentence. And I know that I'm going to say something really sad now too. I know that the Las Vegas shooting just happened maybe last week, and we've all been walking around in a daze. And I've said this before when I say that the news and the media uses a lot of fear mongering, and it's in no disrespect to such a beautiful couple and what I'm talking about in this layout, but we do need more love. I know that sounds so crazy because you're going to tell me, that the shooter, this and that, but he was somebody's little boy. He was somebody's brother, somebody's son. He was just like our own children, right? Just like everybody in this world that's looking for love. Where did his break down? Right? Where did his love break down and translate to him wanting to do something like that? Wanting to hurt other people for whatever reason it is, for whatever conspiracy theories, for whatever we want to talk about, whether you need stricter gun laws or whatever it is that you feel. Because right now we do need to speak up about it. Everybody has to have an opinion, and everybody's opinion is going to be different because it's all different. But what about him? Where did it break down? Where is our responsibility socially to our children right now, to everyone around you, your neighbors, your sisters, your cousins, your mothers, your fathers? That is what I mean when I say the world needs more love. And more love means that, yes, we may be busy and we want everything. But when I look at these two, I'm reminded that the simple, basic human need is love, togetherness, belonging. We all start off with a marriage of some sort. I know most of us are married and we have kids and blah, blah, blah. And so you have to go back to that. You have to go back and remember, what does it feel like to be in the arms of someone else and to feel embraced when we hug our children, when we hug our siblings, when we hug a neighbor, when we hug a stranger? That's love. When we judge people, when we stand back, when we think we're better, when we think we know better, when we think everything's all wrong and everything's bad and the world is horrible, and we start to think about hate and fear and how could this be, then we cringe, we turn away. We're not in love. We're in hate. Right? And I know it sounds so simple, or it sounds hokey, and you're like, okay, sure, Monica, what does that mean? You have to be in love. And I'm not saying, go outside and start hugging every single person you see. No, I'm actually saying the total complete opposite. And I've been saying it for a few videos now. It starts with you first, self-love. I was going to say that. Showing your self-compassion, showing your self-love. And then your spouse, your partner, your siblings, your children. And let me tell you, it really carries over. And love means forgiveness. It doesn't mean that you never get angry. It doesn't mean that you're perfect. No, it just means in that moment, just like these two, you're posing for your best. You're showing, you're smiling your hardest, and you're trying your best because love is that powerful. It's that blinding. It's that magical that it does heal. It does interpret dreams into goals, into success, into life. And so again, I come back and I digress. Hopefully we do find some more answers and we grow as human beings and we do remind each other on all of our social platforms, that love must conquer all. And so it was such a proud moment, such a proud time to be, there with Adriano and Anahita and to see their love unfold. And I'm grateful to them because they reminded me of a time where I should still practice, and I still do with my hubby too, to remind myself what love feels like. So I'm extending you lots of love, lots of big hugs, lots of thank yous, lots of gratitude, lots of tight, tight, sincere hugs. And thank you so much. Be inspired. Be inspired by what you see on YouTube, because this hobby heals. And I will see you all very, very soon.